because I'm explaining how the Black and Brown Summit came about. I guess it's been 2 years now. I was with Carolina Ramos. Where's Carolina?
She's wandering.
She's wandering. There she is. Esposa. We were in Las Vegas together, and Carolina, you and Mandy might as well. As Mandy comes back, you can sit up here.
Oh,
Mandy, just why don't you sit down? And I'll introduce you at the same time. But Carolina and I were at the Democratic National Committee had a training for the Western region in Las Vegas, and the purpose of the training was to, well, one of the purposes was to how to get more people of color involvement in the Democratic National Committee, especially among in the LGBT community. And so there were a number of speakers, and none of them had met each other, so we spoke, and then we kind of were left on our own. And they kind of like, thank you for speaking. We never heard from them or saw them again, or no one invited us any place, so we were kind of stuck with each other. So we spent the day. Anyone who's been to Las Vegas, you walk up and down the strip. And we went up and down the strip, and one of the things that happened, we started talking about our lives and our cultural background. And one of the things that happened is as we were walking up and down the strip, there are people always trying to sell you timeshares. And I don't know if that still happens, but they were, at those days they were trying to sell you timeshares. And so because Carolina and I were walking together, they assumed we were married. And they kept saying, well, you and your wife got a timeshare, and you and your wife, and then like. And so we said no, we're not. But after a while, we was like, what difference, yeah, honey, do you want to buy a timeshare? Are you giving any free weekends, any place, any meals? What are you giving us? So we had to, by the time we left Las Vegas, like many people go to Las Vegas, we were married. And out of that marriage, our child is the Black and Brown Summit, because we talked about how do we bring Black and Latino people, and not to the exclusion of anyone else, but our experiences being Black and Latino, that how do we bring people together to talk about our issues, because in many of the places in the country we're pitted against one another. And we're fighting for crumbs, and actually when you look at our agenda and the needs of our community are very similar. So how do we foster conversation and foster collaboration? So we decided that we were going to have our Black and Brown Summit, and I said, well, I don't have any money, Carolina, but I can promise you, being a good husband, I'll be a good provider. And
right.
that I'm going to be a good provider, and I said, I'm going to find the money. And so we were able to get some funding from the columnist, Maddie, gave us some money. Always clap for your funding.
Yeah, right.
The Guild gave us a few dollars, and Argus gave us some money as well. So we've been able to we had one in Philadelphia, which was a great start. We've had one in Dallas, in Los Angeles, and we're here in Chicago. And basically, it is to really have conversation and dialogue about issues that are important to our community. And having Chris here and the rest of you here is sometimes we get in the habit of talking to ourselves and talking in silos, and no one hears us, except for each other. And after a while, you get sick of hearing each other. And so we'll have several opportunities for you to hear how our experiences are in dealing with certain issues in our LGBT community and the greater community. And so I just wanted to give you that little background why we are here.
About 2 years ago, I really had a sense in looking particularly at Jewish community organizing and African American community organizing, that those communities viewed strategically how to develop their leaders over generations, that it wasn't just handled in an ad hoc basis, and that leaders, when they came into the movement, could be expected to be supported through youth, adult, elder, through their entire lifespan. And I felt this was lacking in LGBT community organizing, that people came into the movement as leaders and pretty much made their way through it as best they could. So the LGBT Leadership Initiative is seeking to develop a strategy for long-term leadership development in our movements. And it really made sense for us to come together today, for us to share what we learned with the Black and Brown Summit and to listen to the Black and Brown Summit specifically about what's needed for Latino and African American leadership development. So we're thrilled to be here, we're thrilled to be working cooperatively, and looking forward to see how the weekend goes. Thanks, Earl.